Page 101, Lavender's Blue. On page 98, 99, they're introducing you to an interval of a sixth. Say measuring sixths, a melodic sixth, harmonic sixth, six intervals. I've already spoken on intervals, and I really don't have anything new to say. I explained how you figure them out, and it doesn't matter what the interval is. They're always good. If you understand how to figure them out, it doesn't matter what, you got it. So a sixth, well, remember 5, we'll just count it. Start with C, and we go up. 1, remember the note we're on is 1. We don't start with 0 in music, we start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's there. A fifth is like the 2 outside notes in a chord. That's a fifth. A sixth is just one more. That's all. I mean, when you get a 5/7 chord here, well, that is a sixth between the 2 outside notes on that one, because we move the thumb down. And you'll recognize them in the music of one note will be on a line and the other will be on a space, or one will be on a space and the other's on a line. And you'll learn to recognize them. I don't have a lot to say about sixths, or any other interval for that matter. Just remember the harmonic and melodic part. The harmonic is when they're at the same time, here. And melodic is when they're played not at the same time. Alright, do the top one first. Doesn't matter which comes first, it's just they're not at the same time. Now there's certain patterns you'll see on page 101. They show a typical pattern of in music. You'll see it where they're alternating between a fifth and a sixth. The top note goes up, right hand is here. Well, we don't really get this so much in this piece, but when we do get it, I will alter this fingering. I don't like having the thumb do it all. That's when I have the index finger help. On the fifth finger would be the fourth finger. So the thumb isn't doing, or the little finger here. I don't like that finger. That's a beginner's fingering. I know you're a beginner right now, but I'm pushing you. I typically push anyway. As I said though, in Lavender's Blue, it doesn't matter. We don't really get that pattern here. Let's talk Lavender's Blue. 3 lines long. It has a repeat sign at the end of the second line. Oh, this is interesting, not the third line. So we're going to play the first 2 lines twice. Okay. That makes it the same as 5 lines long. Okay. Treble and bass clef, 3/4 time now. We have quarter notes and eighth notes, dotted half notes. We can handle all that. Let's check it one hand at a time. Right hand first, make sure we have the right notes and rhythms, because we do have a sixth in here. We're going to have to come up a little bit. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and just reach up a little bit. Now you have to look at first to get the right note, but eventually you want to get to where you can feel that one key up without looking at the keyboard. So you'll be able to reach up without looking at the keyboard. I know it's there. And that, for the most part, is the right hand. Left hand, you got the chords. C chord, F chord. We've had this before. Broken F chord, C chord. Let's go down to the second line, the last 2 measures. Here, it says here. Now we get that. Now here. See, this is moved. That's fine. You can use that fingering. Again, you want to get to where you can do this without looking at the keyboard too eventually. You have to look at first to get the thumb in the right spot, but eventually you want to feel it. Put the hands together. Here. Make sure you're playing the rest in the left hand. Those G's need to be by themselves. Go down to the second line, last 2 measures. You're here. That's tricky. You just have to take it one thing at a time. Here and the here, and then here, and then here. And hold the right hand down as you do that. We have to practice on that. So you put the hands together, and then go back through and work on those spots where you're hesitating, so you get rid of the hesitation. How fast you go here doesn't matter, but it has to be a steady beat. You can speed it up later. Then once we do that, as far as articulation goes, they really don't give you much any. They give you a few of these little curved lines to connect the notes. I'd connect them anyway. I don't need a curved line to tell me to do that. Although it's nice that they do, because when they don't give you a curved line, there's other ways we can play this. I don't want to get into it right now. We'll get into it later. But they give you options, and unless they tell you specifically connect it like they're doing, you could do other things. Then the dynamics, well, that applies to the melody. Whatever you think moderately loud is, mezzo, forte, MF. Keep everything else in the background. And you're staying there into the last line. You're going to go down to soft, but be careful. Don't get soft until the third measure of that last line. If you don't plan it out, you'll be soft by the end of the first measure. You'll be soft right there. No, we don't want to be soft there. So you're moderately loud. And I'm going to do this like a measure at a time. The first measure is moderately loud, and then the second measure I'm going to go down to moderately soft, and then down to soft. I'm spanning it out. You don't always do it note at a time. Sometimes you do it in groups of notes, or groups of beats, or groups of measures, or what. It depends on what the music and what's needed. Here I'm going to do it a measure at a time. So moderately loud, soft, moderately soft, soft. Here. So that's how I would do it. And then the ritardato at the end, you'd slow down. And the fermata, you can hold that out till it feels right, and then you lift up. If I do it with a metronome, I'll just double the value, and I'll hold that for 6 counts instead of 3. They've added a pedal indication for the last 2 measures, so you can, if you want, you can put the pedal down and hold it out. I disagree with it. I would prefer you leave it out. If I were your teacher, I'd scribble out that mark, because I don't pedal that. I didn't pedal anywhere else. I'm not introducing the pedal at the very end. I don't want overtones at the end. I want to die away at the end. If anything, I want fewer overtones. If I were using the pedal elsewhere, then I might consider using it at the end, but I'm not going to use it at the end only. Obviously, some people do, because several method books do this, and I disagree with it. I still hold my ground on that. Don't. Then the speed, well, moderately fast. Well, to me, you have moderate and you have fast, and then moderately fast is in the middle, and to me, that's the fun speed. When I see something moderately fast, all right, now we're going to have some fun here. That's a felt. What do you think moderately fast is? By the way, on the articulation I didn't mention before, these curved lines are not necessarily exact where they go. In the second measure, here, and then here, I would connect the whole measure together. Connect all that. Same thing in the second line. I would connect all that together. I would not do that, no. Then, after these curved lines, I may not lift up after the curved line either. Take a look at the last line. You have in the first measure, 8th notes are slurred, going into a C, the next measure. I would connect that. like the curved line covered the C too. And the same one in the left hand. Connect that to the C there also. Don't split it. No, connect it all. Let's play this together slowly and double check all the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. We will do the repeat. So I'll give us 3 counts. Let's just play. I'm going to play both hands about the same loudness so you can hear them. Even one hand at a time with me if you need to get the notes and the rhythms. That's what we're after. Now this is after you've learned it. Learn it first and get rid of the hesitation so you can play it at least slowly. And then check it with me. 1, ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and